Hi friends, welcome back. Naji here. So we are continuing a discussion with LangGraph, and last couple of videos we have discussed about what is LangGraph, and we have done simple programs like a linear, building a linear node, and also we have done a conditional LangGraph also. And in this video we will be discussing a little bit or more on the theory part, and we will see why actually we need the LangGraph and different architectures that is supported by the LangGraph. So it's all about agents, and we know that agent uses LLM to decide the workflows, right? The workflow of an application. So when we say workflow, we can divide into three ways. One is LLM can decide, or agent can decide which potential path it has to select. Consider it as a two path, okay, and it can decide, okay, which route or which path it has to select, and it can able to select the tool. So if a agent is connected with multiple tools, it will decide which tool has to be called for a specific task, and LLM can decide the generated answer is correct or not. Okay, that is also LLM will able to decide. And another two important terms that we need to discuss, or workflows that we can discuss with respect to agents, are the routers or fully autonomous. So what do we mean by routers and fully autonomous means? So in the picture itself it is very clear, right? In a router we will have a starting point is there. We are starting from step 1, and we have a step 2 and step 3 is there, right? Kind of a conditional workflow is happening here, but and this is going to end here. But even though this decision is happening here, we have a flow is almost defined. It will start from a step 1, or it may end by step 2 or step 3. But when we come to autonomous case, here we don't know which agent is going as a start one, or which one will be the start, or which one will be the end, because that is completely decided by the agent itself, or our LLM model itself. So here it is more kind of a control over agents, and here we have a less control over the agents. So major challenges is since the level of control, agents control over autonomous is very high, then obviously its reliability is very less. See, this is the reliability, and application reliability very less, because we don't know how they are going to execute. That is, LLM may decide sometimes it may take a wrong decisions, and we will get a wrong output. But in the case of a router, we will have a application reliability is very high compared with the autonomous agents. And here is the main role of a LangGraph. LangGraph actually trying to bridge or trying to reduce this kind of a uncertainty in the application reliability, and it will bring more reliability to the applications using their nodes and their features. Okay. And so that is actually why we need the LangGraph for the agent system. And there are few core principles. This is already we have discussed. This is the controllability. They are providing the high control and providing the persistence, and we will able to humans can be entered in the loop in between, and it is providing the streaming also. So streaming can be on node based stream can be, or it can be a full completed stream also we can do. So we will discuss this one by one, and this is about the core principle and actually the use of LangGraph. Then we can discuss another topic, that is with respect to the multi-agent system. So why we need the multi-agent system? So consider we have a single agent, and we have a lot of tools associated with a single agent. Then the problem is sometimes the LLM don't know which tool, or LLM may be confused with calling to decide which LLM it has or which tool it has to call. Okay, sometimes it may call a wrong tool that eventually make a wrong result. And since we have only single LLM model, its context will be too big, right? Then that also will cause some confusions with the single agent type, or for this particular agent. Then when we come to the multi-agent, it brings some kind of a modularity. So we will have a separate agent for each task, and we will able to test it, and we will able to maintain the system. And we can bring some kind of a specialization. So we can make a domain specific specialized agents can be created. For example, the agent that is who is specialized in the finance domain, or we can have an agent that is specialized in the a healthcare domain. So in that way we can bring some kind of a specialized agents also we can bring in the multi-agent system, and definitely it will bring some kind of a more control to our application. So that is multi-agent system, and there are some of the architecture that is supported by the LangGraph in the multi-agent system. One is the first one is single agent. It's not a multi-agent. It's a single agent system in which we will have a single LLM that will be that will communicate with the different tools. And another one is we have a network system in which we will have a nodes, and here we can see each agent will communicate with each other, and it will decide a particular task and it will get it completed. Okay, and we have another architecture is the supervisor architecture. So in supervisor architecture we will have a supervisor node is there, or supervisor agent will be there, which will decide which agent it has to call based on the input. It may call A, it may call B, or it may call C. But the node, the agents will communicate only with the supervisor node. In the network, we can see that everyone will communicate with each other. But here it is kind of they will communicate only with the supervisors, and supervisor will decide which node it has to call. Okay. And here also it is a workflow is kind of a controlled workflow. But when we come to supervisors as a tool, here the agents will be considered as a tool, and supervisor will call the agents dynamically. Okay, so this is actually more dynamic and we don't have much control over here, and the LLM, the supervisor will decide which tool or which agent has to be called based on the input. It does not have any start or end point here. And another is the hierarchical architecture. In hierarchical architecture we can see the structure here, right? So in hierarchical we will have a supervisors of supervisors are there. So this is a supervisor, and here we can see a supervisor. Here also we can see a supervisor. In this way the workflow will move on. And another is the custom architecture, or called custom multi-agent architecture, in which we will have a agent. One agent will communicate with the subgroup of agents, then the another agent will communicate with the subgroup of agents. In this way we will able to build the multi-agent system. So these are the basic multi-agent architecture that is supported by the LangGraph, and in coming videos we will see one by one, and we can build different agent system, different multi-agent system. Okay, so that's it. So please do like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye.